With just over 2 months until the Tokyo Olympics are due to begin, Japan has announced it is extending its emergency COVID restrictions to counter a surge in cases. Tokyo's state of emergency will now remain in place until the end of May, and there'll be new restrictions in several other regions. Our correspondent Rupert Wingfield-Hayes told me why the government feels it's necessary to take this step.
I think, Philippa, because it's an admission of reality. When this latest state of emergency was imposed on Tokyo, Osaka and places in Western Japan on the 25th of last month, a lot of experts said what was called this short, sharp, tough 17-day lockdown, which is not really a tough lockdown at all, actually, but tougher than we've seen before, that it would not be enough to bring COVID infections under control. And that is exactly what has happened. It was supposed to expire next Tuesday. Very clear that infection rates, certainly in Western Japan, are not coming down nearly fast enough, and that they are still growing here in Tokyo. And so, really, the government has no other option, given that we're so close to the Olympics, than to continue this state of emergency until the infection rates really do start to come significantly down.
And what does this mean for preparations for the Olympics?
Well, preparations for the Olympics have already been hugely disrupted. A lot of preparation events that were supposed to be taking place here this month are not taking place this month and been postponed until into June, really close up to the beginning of the Olympics. It's making it very difficult for athletes here in Japan and around the world to prepare, because normally you would expect to travel to the host country early, to go to a training camp and to really adjust to the climate and to the time zone. It looks more and more like if the Olympics do go ahead, that athletes are going to be coming really at the last minute and staying for a very short amount of time.
And you said if, not when.
Well, it does appear that the Japanese government and the IOC are determined to go ahead with the Olympics in some form. Now, what form that might be, it could be even that the Olympics will be held without any audiences at all. A recent update is that all the athletes are now being offered vaccinations before they come to Japan. That's, again, a concession to Japanese public opinion, because Japanese public opinion has remained rock solid, around 75% opposed to the Olympics going ahead. And that is a real problem for the Japanese government if they can't get COVID here under control, and if it looks like the Olympics could threaten public health here in Japan.
Our correspondent in Tokyo, Rupert Wingfield-Hayes. Now